Well, Shelly was a part of the athletic training staff when we came to LSU, and the first thing that struck me was she had a really good relationship with a lot of the players, which I think is always important. You're always trying to create balance. You know, you look for balance athletically, that's part of athletic ability, but balance psychologically and mentally is really, really important. So most people back in those days didn't have those kind of programs, and we had that, and Dr. Rosen was sort of the head of that, and he came in, and you know, Shelly had a great relationship with him, and he recognized that she would be the absolute right person to be the on-the-ground person to run that mental conditioning program at LSU, and she certainly did a fantastic job of that. The impact that you get from players. Sometimes a player won't tell the coach an issue or a problem that he may have, but they may tell someone in the athletic training staff especially, because they have a close relationship with them and they trust them. And I think that's the most important thing that Shelly had, was the players trusted her. If they had an issue, they would come to her. She would say, we have an issue here. What's the best solution for it? How should we approach it? So getting those individual players to have the right balance psychologically, emotionally, is really important to performance. So I think that had a huge impact on us getting players to play at a high level on a consistent basis who may had to overcome some personal issues to be able to get there. As we were going to, I think, the Sugar Bowl or SEC championship game or whatever, and I still have this vision of her dedication to still come to practice late in her pregnancy, and she sat over on the side and observed everything that was happening, and I'm sitting there saying, I don't think she should really be here right now, but she always was, because that was, I think, an indication of her dedication to the program and the players. When we went to the Miami Dolphins, it was my opinion and Dr. Rosen's opinion that Shelly was so important that we hired her, and LSU actually allowed her to be a part of our mental conditioning program at the Miami Dolphins as we continue to try to create that balance with professional athletes. And I think she had a huge impact on doing that very well for us, but it's an indication of how much trust and respect that we had for her and her ability to help athletes.
When I first came to LSU, there were very few females in the role that Shelly was in. And so me stepping into the role as a female athletic trainer was good, right? Because I had Shelly to kind of guide me and lead me along the way. Shelly's somebody that is very compassionate. She has great empathy for everyone and so to add that, not that it makes me sound like I'm not a compassionate person, but not that I wasn't a compassionate person, but to be able to add that to your toolbox. Our roles as an LSU athletic trainer encompass so many things. We deal with prevention of injuries, we treat the injuries, we rehabilitate the injuries, and then we get somebody back to play. And along with that, we have to look at the whole body. And that's what Shelly was so good at, looking at the whole body amongst all of those pieces. She could really connect with a student athlete and put all that together. She let student athletes know that they are more than an athlete. They're always more than an athlete to her. And it didn't matter if they were a starter or a walk-on or non-scholarship, male, female, it did not matter. She treated all the same and all with love and compassion and made them all feel special. Going to school, finishing her master's degree, her second master's degree, she was raising children, you know, and that's something to be admired. She always put her children first, but you could do that in a way and keep your job a priority as well, and she could do that very well.
When I got here as a freshman, you know, things was a little hectic dealing with a new coach. That new coach was a lot different than that, you know, what I'm used to dealing with. Nick Saban, came in and he was very intense, and it just seemed like it made everyone else around intense. So at the same time, with all this new intensity around, my mom dies. You know, I'm an 18-year-old kid and my mom died. And it just, I didn't want to be here no more. I just wanted to be at home. It was heartbreaking for me. You know, my heart was broken. That was the most important part of my life, and it was gone. So at that moment, I lost 30 pounds. I couldn't eat. Didn't have the energy to get up and go to class. It was very tough. But he checked on me every day, made sure I had Boost in my room, just made sure I was taken care of. And just that feeling that, you know, somebody cared about me outside of what I can do for the football team. It was more about, I need this young man to feel comfortable, to feel at home, that show them that, you know, we care about him as a person. Her pushing me through the toughest time in my life is, now that I look back, is the reason I was able to, you know, be the person I became. I dealt with a lot of injuries in my life, but while I was here, after I was here, I've been through a lot, sickness, and it was always one phone call away. She always showed that she really cared. When you really needed someone to, you know, just to feel safe, because, you know, men can get pressured by men a lot, especially in a football environment, because you knew who the boss was, but it seemed like she was the rock of, all right, no, you know, your need is, you don't have to fake like you heard all the time. You don't have to be this big manly man. Something's wrong, let it heal, you'll be all right. So it was the rock. I think the feeling around the whole locker room with all players, I'm sure you could talk to all the former players and they would just say the same thing. It was just a feeling of someone who cared about you, who, you know, she's gonna do right by you. It wasn't even about football stuff all the time. It was like some days it's mental health. You don't, you know, you're going through things. Things are going through your head. That's the mother figure that, you know, you can't reach, which at first I couldn't reach her mind because she was, you know, she wasn't here. But then when she died, I really had nobody to reach. So she was the mother figure for our LSU football. Football is a lot more than just that, what you see on the field on Saturday night, because it's so much involved in it, mentally, physically, just emotionally, that those football coaches, their job is to inform you about, you're supposed to be here and be here on this play and be here on this play, and your job is to do this. Where hers is, okay, that body you have, that mind of yours, you have to live the rest of your life with that. Forget, this is gonna be over soon. You're here for 4 years, maybe 5, but you're gonna need that knee. You're gonna need your brain. You're gonna need your everything else a long time from now. You're gonna need your degree. You're gonna need to really see that it's a lot more to life than football. 20 years later, I really see it after everything I've gone through since I've left LSU. A smile used to always come on my face when I see her run on the field. Like, look at my girl, Michelle. She's still out there. So it makes you smile. You really are an inspiration to a lot of kids. You are the mom. You are the mother figure. You're the nourisher. You're the person who get people who may be thinking about, you know, I don't know if I can do this, to fight through it, and just having that great heart of yours. I know what it did for me, you know, in my tragic situation, to all the way after when I had to come back for my son for something else, or when I was in the off season from the Saints or from the Patriots, whenever I came, just knowing that you were there, you're gonna be there. Even now, I know if I would give you a call, that I'm gonna be taken care of, and that means a lot. Please don't go anywhere, and congratulations.